feel like I go overboard. So, like, I have a lesson tomorrow that I'm wanting to do, and it's my focus, kind of, is that they learn, that Earth is made of, land and water and air, and I wanted to teach them a little bit about, not like every continent or anything.
Right.
That we live on North America, and then we go, and then we live in California. That happens to be Sea Week this week.
Okay.
So where I made a little book, and it's about being a good citizen, and I'll show it to you in a second. But it has to do with, continent, then country, so USA, and then their state is California, so more sea, and then our city is San Diego, and then our community is Linda Vista.
So Sea Week.
So
the letter C.
The letter C.
I'm thinking
You're
ocean,
thinking, C. You're
letter
thinking C.
C.
Yeah,
Okay.
letter C. So
Okay.
we had A week, and we did like an astronaut, and B week we studied about bats. So I'm always trying to bring something kind of new, just to get them excited about whatever the letter is.
Okay.
And we do sharing for that letter for the week, like a phonics focus kind of for the sharing.
Okay.
And so tomorrow I want to do this lesson. So I don't know if you can bring that thing over here, but I'll show you some of the materials in a minute.
I have a question, so just to make sure I understand.
Right.
So you're in this lesson. You're covering California.
Right.
Land, water, air.
Right.
The letter C because it's seaweed.
Right.
And being a good citizen. A book on being a good citizen. Okay, so we have
and just like briefly, we've already actually covered being a good citizen, so
Okay.
it's like just again the word citizen and following the rules and what it means to be like a part of a society.
Okay.
And
And your first sentence when we spoke right now, you told me you kind of felt like
it's too
you were
much.
too much.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I still agree with that. And
Okay.
so what what I would like to do, and like I'm so happy that you're here helping because I need the help, is like how to kind of like mellow things out and focus things in. And I'll show you. I have like 4 books over there. I have, I have a globe. I have a solar system like model, and I'll probably end up using a lot of it. But is that going to be?
Well, let me ask you this. Okay, finish your question. Is that going to be what?
Just over the top where I'm showing them too much, and then they're not getting what the objective is, and just writing the objective, like this is what we're learning. Like I never really formally do that with them, and I know they need it. It's like I don't want them to learn from osmosis, just getting little pieces. I want to be more directive, I feel. I'm trained in from my college that I went to, so it's like my teaching credentials. So it's what these kids need.
Okay.
So if they're into it, you kind of want to build on that.
Right.
So it's not so much like fitting into the time structure that I would usually have like after lunch we do geography or we do science.
Okay.
But so my plan was to do morning opening and then I read a story. So the story was going to be based on, I'll show it to you if you want to see it, but it's going to be based on kind of this animal that gets pulled out of his, it's like an armadillo, and he goes from being in his state or his city and his community, and he goes all the way out to space, to the moon, and then kind of finding his way home.
Oh.
So having to pick the right continent, having to pick, so kind of some of those C words that we were talking about. So a little bit of focus within that, but at the same time, I'm really going to be I wanted to pull the map down and then kind of show some of the things on the map.
Okay.
And then we're going to go off and we'll do our centers, but I'm going to then have this little book that I made called the Citizen Book, and it's in a circle shape, so it's another C thing, and I know there's a lot going on, and so then we're going to work on it together and kind of then focus in on it more. Okay. But it's during our literacy groups because they are going to be writing little words. And,
right. So then how could you, if you're feeling that it's kind of a lot, and you're not sure if you're putting too much at them at once, how could you make it so that it feels like it's a little more? Because I think I'm getting the sense, I don't know, tell me if I'm right, that you want it to be a little more structured, but you want it still to remain flexible and open. You want the best of both worlds.
Always.
No, but you want, but I mean, what are your feelings about that? What are you thinking what's something that if you did one thing would help you feel like you don't feel like you're trying to do too much?
Yeah, I just don't want to give up a lot, but I want it to be more focused.
Well, because I know you you taught third grade.
You know I taught.
Yeah.
You know I teach.
And I know.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And so I know you just
really
love like saying, okay, take it, learn, absorb, Right. So it's real. I know it's really hard. But you have to remember too. You have 4-year-olds.
I know.
4-year-olds. And so and even if this is your teaching style and you love this, what is the, out of all this,
If it's not a, if
what
it's,
is the one walk away you want
right,
taking
yeah,
tomorrow? If this is tomorrow's lesson, what is, out of everything, the one thing you really want them to
right.
walk away with?
Yeah, I want him to learn. I just don't want to give him
Right.
a lot of pieces, you know.
Right. So if you had to choose one thing out of your lesson, because I'm not telling you to change your lesson.
Yes.
What's the one thing you'd want them to walk away with?
Oh my gosh.
Because
Out of all of
you
those
gave me a
things,
lot, so
I
I'm not
know.
sure what your objective at the end is. 'Cause
Right.
normally we plan backwards.
I
in our
guess I
objective.
feel like I have so many objectives, so that's the problem. Is
Okay.
gosh,
So maybe that's it.
I know.
Deciding on one
Deciding
objective.
on one objective.
Right.
This particular
then,
lesson.
And
is
you
just-
could put, and you can maybe have to think about that. Maybe you write out the different objectives, and then you're going to have to prioritize. And maybe this lesson goes on
Right.
for the rest
Oh
of
yeah,
the week.
yeah. I know
And
it's
then-
gonna. It always. All
And
my
each
lessons
day, it's a different
Right.
objective,
Right.
but at least you know what you're putting more of your energy
Right.
during day one.
Okay.
Like,